cactus and succulent growers, it's Lynn, and in today's video I'll be talking to you about when I stopped watering my cacti for their winter rest. Now I just want to mention to start off by, this is about the cacti, and I'm going to be talking about succulents in a different video because many succulents will still continue to grow through the winter, so that's a little bit different, but this is just my plans for the cacti. Now I've made quite a few videos on how to water cacti and succulents, and also how to overwinter cacti and succulents, and I will link both of them videos down below in the video description, so do check them out and watch them for a lot more information on overwintering cactus. Now I've been getting a few people say to me, Lynn, when do I stop watering my cacti? It's September now, do I stop now or do I stop next month? And there's no easy way to answer that because it can depend on so many different things. First of all, what type of cactus you have. Is it an epiphytic cactus such as this Ripsalis here, or is it a desert cactus such as these cacti here? And also what's important is what type of size cactus it is and the pot it's in. If it's in a tiny little pot like this, or is it in a big pot like this, because that makes a difference as well. The larger the pot, the more soil it's got, the longer it's going to take to dry out before the winter. So you know, this is just me sharing my experience and what I'm going to be doing, and explain the reasons and what's best for you. Now personally myself, what I do at this time of year, it's September now, I slow down with a lot of the watering. We've had a very sunny summer, and we've still temperatures are still really warm. It's raining today, but it's very warm in here. So I'm still having to keep watering them quite regularly. But I normally completely stop watering all of my desert cacti, such as all of these here, from the end of September. Usually definitely by the beginning of October, depending, as I say, on the temperature and everything. And the reason why I stop watering then is because I want to make sure all the cacti are completely dry in their pots before the real cold winter starts to kick in. The only ones I'll still be watering lightly are the epiphytes, as I mentioned here, because they don't like to go too long without water. And also the Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter cacti. I still give these a light bit of watering throughout the winter months because they're winter growers and winter flowering as well. So they do still need a little bit of water. So first of all, what type of cactus do you have? Epiphytic cacti is going to need a little bit of water, and a desert cacti is going to need a dry rest. Saying that, it also depends on where you live in the world and where you're going to be overwintering your cacti. If you're overwintering your cacti in a greenhouse like this, for example, or in a shed or a garage, or anywhere that's not going to be heated or very little heat, keeping it frost free, you need to make sure that the cactus is really dry in its pot before it goes into them type of temperatures, because cold and damp soil is not good for cactus and rot can set in. But if you're overwintering cacti in your house and it's warm and it's, you know, you've for example got it on a sunny windowsill and you can't really give it a cool winter rest, you may need to carry on the watering a little bit longer, maybe into the middle of October, depending on many different factors, the heat and everything like that. And I've made videos on should you water cactus in the winter, because then if you have a very sunny warm winter such as we did here last year, we had a very mild winter. It was warm as well, and I had to sort of give my cacti a little bit of water in the winter because they were starting to shrivel so much. And I did a video when I did that, I think it was way back in February. But by the time you get to February, you're coming up to sort of like a pre-spring period anyway, so it's not so bad. But again, that's a whole new topic entirely. So when do I going to stop watering? I'm going to stop watering all of my cacti from the end of this month, and that's it. I won't be giving them a drop of water then until the April time, end of March, probably the beginning of middle of April, depending on the temperatures. And I've actually stopped watering my cacti in the big pots such as these here, because these are in very large pots and they need to be fully dry before the winter kicks in. I gave them one good watering a couple of days ago. Soil's still a bit damp, but they're going to dry out by the time the winter comes. And I have many cacti that I have to bring into the house to overwinter indoors because they're not cold hardy. Now this is a succulent, obviously euphorbia, but they come in to be overwintered. And other types of cacti that are not so cold hardy, that can't withstand being outside. For example, Hylocereus, they don't like to be kept below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so they're all going to be coming in. And I have them in the grow rooms and with the grow lights. May not be able to have the grow lights on as long as I normally do because the rising cost in electricity is horrendous. So I can't afford to have the grow lights on for 8-9 hours a day. I have about 20 grow lights, so that I'm going to have to cut back on. As with the heating, we have an electric heater here, BioGreen Phoenix, brilliant electric heater. We have that comes on if the polytunnel drops to 41F or 5C. It will keep it just at that level. But obviously with the rising costs, I have to be very careful this year. So we're probably going to be using the dehumidifier, which keeps the air dry, fraction of the cost of the electric. Still going to be expensive with everything going up, but keeping the air dry in the polytunnel is the best thing because humidity and cold together is not good. But I'll have to deal with that when the winter comes and see. I may have to do things a little bit different this year, maybe go a little bit easier with having even the dehumidifier on because of the cost of electricity going up. And I've got plenty of fleece cloth I may have to be covering a lot of these with, but we'll see how it goes. So what you also need to, so obviously the type of cactus you've got, the size of your cactus, the size of the pot. Also, if you have a clay pot or plastic pots stay damp for longer. Clay pots dry out very quickly. So if you give one last watering now, say the beginning of September, you might find that you'll have to give it another water before the winter kicks in. So if you have clay pots, such as this one here, I may need to give that a little bit more watering, maybe again at the beginning of October. It really is difficult because when it comes to when to stop watering your cacti, as I mentioned, it depends on many different things. But for me, the end of September, and then it gives chance for all of this to fully dry before the winter rest. These Hylocereus and the other types of cacti that are not so cold hardy, as I mentioned, will be coming into the house to overwinter. So there you go, all the different reasons on when to stop watering your cacti, and as I mentioned, it can depend on many different factors. But I'm going to be stopping watering mine off from the end of September and some of the ones in the big pots from now. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you haven't done already, please do subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell and for lots more growing tips on how you can care for and grow for cacti and succulents, as well as regular articles. Do please check my website out, desertplantsofavalon.com. I want to wish you all a fantastic cactus powered day.